Wasn't always in the military. I started in terms of social work, I did social work in my undergraduate and then went on to get my master's as a civilian and then worked as a civilian social worker up until about 2002. And then at about that time, I got a recruitment letter from the Army saying, have you ever considered Army social work? And I didn't know they had social workers in the Army, so I considered it and decided to join for a few years to do my part, per se, but I've really liked it. So for the past about 10 years now, I've been in the Army as a social work officer, deployed to Iraq 2 times in between '05 and '06, and then in '07 and '08 for about 12 months or so each time. And then during that time, I knew I kind of wanted to perhaps pursue doctoral education, and the Army has a program, or the military, it's called long-term health education training. And you apply to that program through the Army, and then that's what they say, okay, we'll let you go do it for 3 years, and they'll provide some funding. And then you, on your own, you apply to what schools you want to go to. So I applied to a few schools and got into BC and knew the program seemed to fit. And I knew I loved Boston because I'm originally from Connecticut, so that part was a great match too. So that's what brought me to BC. I guess a very short sentence would be it will, if you are willing to do the work, it will get you to where you want to go, meaning it will help you get to the end. It doesn't do the work for you, meaning the professors don't do the work for you. You have to do that, but it provides you the tools. And even when they're providing you the tools, you sometimes don't think they are, and you don't think that you're going to get to the end. At least I can say from my personal experience. Year 1, I never thought I would get to the end. Year 2, I didn't think I'd get to the end frequently, but I started to maybe see the end, maybe seeing the possibility, hey, I can actually finish this. And then year 3, year 3, everything from 1 and 2 started to come together. So you do, this is a long-winded answer, I know, but what I mean by giving you the tools is all these classes that don't necessarily seem connected when you're taking them, because you're sometimes so stressed out, that they do, in that year 3, you do draw on those, whether it be a little bit for 2 pages of the dissertation or for you draw on what you learned, and it provides you the knowledge that you need. The first thing I will remember is the extreme adjustment I had in year 1, and whether that be maybe not being in an academic environment for quite some time. I got my master's in '95, and so 95 and now in 2009, I'm in a pretty intense academic environment. Or whether it be coming from the military into now I'm kind of like a civilian for those 3 years. So the adjustment for me was extremely intense. Year 1 was, in terms, overall, over that though, I mean, my grades were fine and I got the resources I need, but it was a very stressful. And so, but the positive, I guess, connected to that, the second very positive is, once again, back to the support. I was fortunate enough to have an extremely supportive cohort. So if you're lucky enough to have one of those where there was competition in terms of everyone wanting everyone else to do well, but it was really a very supportive environment. And then the support from the professors. Undergraduate and master's, I never went into a professor's office. Just either I didn't really need to, or I just chose not to. But I was in a lot of those professors' offices asking for just clarification and maybe a little extra help. So those are the 2 things I really remember. And just Boston. I know it's not connected to the program, but it is in a way. It's one of the best places to live, I think.